welcome to the barrel roll post credit.
That's what it says.
Look, we
Just
recombobulated.
We got a new TV.
We hit the button.
We just have to hang up a whole new TV.
Change we had the HDMI cables had to change. It's a fancy wireless display.
Yeah. It's high tech. It's a floating television.
It's a wall.
On the wall. It's
wall
a
mount.
Floating wall mount. Floating wall mount.
Jet
Floetta.
Wall mount.
Jet propulsion.
No,
Jets.
it's a repulsor technology.
Yep.
There's no jets.
Yeah, there is. You can hear them.
It's hovering.
It's called that's what
hovering.
you think it's a dog sound. It's
yeah. Every time you think it's the dog making noise, it's not. It's actually.
And we call the TV pancake.
Yeah.
Do you not?
It messes with our microphone every once in a while. But welcome to the post-credit show where we talk about games we've played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done. I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
I'm Chris.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
We didn't do it.
We went.
We were not here last week.
No.
So that's a first.
Yes, that was.
This is already a better show. You got to see the introduction today.
You're welcome.
My bad.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
I did, just in the wrong order.
Yeah, he didn't hit the start recording.
I didn't go live.
First. Like he didn't go live first.
Go live.
Go live.
Go live.
I've learned my
For
lesson.
the love of God, go live.
Hey, so
I've learned my lesson. Make sure they're all here.
You did do that.
But you guys did good.
Yeah. You were on the internet.
For the first time we had a barrel roll news show without Tony and I. That is the first time in...
Ever?
How long has this show been on?
Yes. Since yes.
Since yes.
Since yes.
I think this is our actual, third actual season of shows.
We were getting to a milestone soon, weren't we?
Probably.
Or we passed it already.
I stopped counting.
You're supposed to keep track.
Sorry.
Figure out Pokemon like that, buddy.
Either way, being not here last week, I guess I can start.
If you really want to.
I got my list. I'm good now.
We got our lists. We got our lists.
Okay, first off, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the finale.
I'm actually caught up. I watched
finale?
Not the series finale, the season finale.
Probably one of the coolest cliffhangers in a long time.
Well, so here's the nice thing is they filmed two endings.
I wonder what the second one was.
And they're not even telling us because essentially what Michael Schur, the show's creator, said is they don't know if they want to go that route anymore now that the show's gotten another season on NBC. So they're not sure if they want to go that route.
No more cliffhangers?
Not cliffhangers, but the route that the show is going to end
the
with.
thing is,
The show is going to wrap up Jake and Amy getting married and Captain Holt and the commissioner thing and some stuff with Rosa and it was essentially going to end, just going to wrap everything up so people weren't left going like, but. It wasn't going to leave us there, which was nice. But now they're like, any storyline we came up with for the last 10 minutes of that show. So the finale is Jake and Amy's wedding.
Yeah.
Essentially, what was going to happen if the show had been canceled and it was done was they would have sped up the wedding stuff.
Yeah.
So we would have gotten the wedding, and then we would have gotten a 10-minute finale of this is what happens to these people, essentially. Wrap everything up.
Yeah.
Clean.
Now they've left it on a cliffhanger, obviously because we're getting the show back on NBC, and they're scrapping that last 10 minutes. They're like, just because we filmed it does not mean that that's the direction we want to head. We literally did that so that the fans could settle themselves and be like, oh, if that's all I'm getting, at least I got an ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see Jake and Amy get married. Even though their whole wedding day was a giant challenge. And
it was a complete mess. It was a very big mess.
Season behind.
But it's their wedding day, and there's vows involved, and you start going like, oh my god, that is how I think well written this show has been.
I wonder what was filmed first.
The actual ending, the one that we got, yeah.
Okay.
But we got a wedding on TV that actually had me going like, oh my god, you're tearing up because it's even Holt says some stuff and you're going like, oh my god.
Your vacation's been your honeymoon's been approved or something.
Yeah, your honeymoon status has moved from pending to approved. But even some of the stuff that he says and the vows that they make to each other and how everything just proceeds in the episode, you're like, oh my god,
nice.
they've actually made it, and there's that one nice tear that falls out of your eye. It's not like when you know, any of the friends got married on Friends, you're not sitting there going, oh, Monica and Chandler finally got hitched, like,
About time.
Yeah, you're sitting there going, oh my God, it's like finally the organic growth of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and how you actually give a crap about all of these characters is just, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is a very emotional moment for these people, and the actors play it off really well too. My only hope for NBC is that they change the intro and we get Hitchcock and Scully in the intro.
I doubt it.
Well,
so we'll see.
They did 5 years of it. I don't think.
I know, but
Look at How I Met Your Mother never changed anything.
I get that, but I feel like
they kept the really shitty letterbox through the entire show.
But that's my thing, that's my one hope, because even Hitchcock and Scully in the finale, they're not in it a
They
lot.
had a good
their piece
bit.
is just
We got a thing for you.
Their bit is killer, and that's every time Hitchcock and Scully, like they don't overuse them, which is perfect.
I just watched the one on Netflix. Them and Rosa were having a sitting contest.
Yeah,
I'm like, this has got more Hitchcock and Scully than I last remembered.
Well, and even one of the cold opens on one of the episodes, because I've now rewatched back through season 5 already. One of them comes in and it's Hitchcock comes in and he's all pissed because he's like, as soon as they find out I'm a cop, they look away from me and look away in disgust and da-da-da-da-da. And he's standing in front of all of them in the break room and they're all kind of like avoiding eye contact.
Like, what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah. and then finally Jake's like, Hitchcock, like, your penis is out. Like,
oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God. Like, that was the problem. And he just takes it like, oh, okay, good. That's all the problem was. And I'm going like, oh, man, like, they use them just so perfectly. And I just rewatched the first episode where they had a third one. There was Hitchcock Scully, and they had introduced a third character where there was a female Hitchcock Scully character. And that never saw another episode, which was probably a good thing, but... Because Hitchcock and Scully are
they're meant together.
Their whole thing is perfect. And actually, if you rewatch the show 8 billion times, watch the background. Because people are actually like, they're starting to do... Because the bullpen as a set is, you can't film certain angles without getting other people's desks. Hello, Tommy!
Hello.
Without getting other people's desks. So even in the first episode, it actually has Terry with sock puppets FaceTiming with his daughters. The post-credit show is games and movies that we've played and
so we're talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, right now we're talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But the first episode actually has him FaceTiming with his kids, like his twin daughters when they've just been born, essentially, like playing sock puppets. But apparently Hitchcock and Scully, someone said, in like every episode are doing something at their desks. So it's one of those things like on a rewatch where I'm going to have to like actually focus away from the actual action to the background.
Even if they're just sleeping.
Whether they're doing that or if they're watching videos or they're throwing stuff at each other or they're, something's going on. Like, there's actual comedy behind the comedy.
Yeah, it's one of those shows with lots of layers.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, that's some good stuff. I watched this morning the Steve Martin and Martin Short special on Netflix. Steve Martin and Martin Short, so Martin and Martin, I guess.
Oh, maybe.
Either way, they were coming to Edmonton at some point here, and I'm like, oh man, tickets to that would be like, that'd be pretty, they're both really good showmen sort of thing, and really funny together. And thankfully they're on Netflix, so now I don't have to buy tickets. Okay show.
Yeah. Is it a stand-up routine?
Yeah.
It's slightly stand-up. But it's the two of them together, so if they make fun of each other for a while and they riff off of each other, and then Steve Martin goes away, and Martin Short does kind of a Judy Garland sitting on the piano talking about his life. Hello, Undead Gamer 243.
Hello.
He does his little bit, and there's comedy involved in it.
Yeah. And
then Steve Martin comes back out and does a banjo routine because he actually plays banjo, like killer banjo. And then he's like, you know what, I never get a chance because he's like, that other guy's always here, like jumping into my spotlight, and I never get to talk. He's like, I'm going to tell you guys about the parts of the banjo. And before he can do that, Martin Short comes back out and they do a skit.
We're good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
How are you, Undead Gamer 243? I'm going to say the numbers.
You're going to get real tired of that real soon.
Yeah, we'll see. So not a bad special. You have to be into those two as comedians.
Yeah, not awfully.
And that's the thing. Like if you like Jiminy Glick, which is one of Martin Short's characters that he used to do, he does that on stage with.
I think for me, I'm not a very big stand-up comedy guy. It's a very specific comedy that I look for.
And this one's very specific stand-up comedy. Like, you have to actually enjoy these two people as comedians. It's not even... stand-up, sometimes I can just watch stand-up. These guys, it's very, like, you kind of have to know about Steve Martin and Martin Short. You can't just be like, oh!
It's fans.
Yeah. So, yes, this is for fans of, these two aging comedians. Who at one time worked with Chevy Chase on Three Amigos. So there's two of the Three Amigos. So, but it's kind of cute. It's this kind of like old grumpy couple sort of thing. Like they're the odd couple, but comedians. So it works out pretty good. My wife and I made it through Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Ant-Man.
Whoa, you guys powered through.
Look at you guys go.
You guys got through the good ones too.
So
what was Civil War?
Is she enjoying herself?
Did you watch Civil War?
Yeah, we watched Civil War.
Okay.
A while ago.
Is she enjoying?
Doctor Strange, the movement made her sick.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, other than the
everything.
She's like, that was one of the better ones.
It's not wrong.
More because, like, here's the thing. So, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, again, the aliens and all the weird things, kind of, like, she doesn't do that kind of stuff. Like, that's just not the kind of movies she watches. So, any of the Ravagers, essentially, like Taserface, being Taserface,
yes.
She still giggles at the joke, but he legitimately makes her, squeamish because he's, ugly.
That's not wrong.
But then she saw Kurt from Gilmore Girls, and she was totally fine because she missed him the first time we watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1, apparently, but he has a bigger role in 2.
Kurt.
Sean Gunn.
Oh, okay. He's in Gilmore Girls?
Yeah, he's in he's the guy who does everything in that.
Neither do I.
He's actually a really good character in Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Because he's Sean Gunn, but
I like Sean
in this town of Gilmore. So everybody's all happy and this and that and everything, and he's the guy who was selling ice cream yesterday and his mowing.
Oh, you were telling me like he's got that odd. He's
the guy who does every job.
Every week.
At one point, he was going to jump out of an airplane with a parachute on and try and land on an ice cream truck. Like that's the job he had been hired for that episode. And you're just like, okay. But yeah, as soon as so he was in it, and then the music is like she likes that part. So the movie was all right, and Ant-Man she did like, just because it's not as.
It's different.
It's not as superhero-y, more heisty, that kind of stuff.
I loved it.
And I loved Ant-Man.
I love the heist aspect.
Me too.
When they announced it as like a heist movie, not a Marvel traditional hero movie, I'm like, this could be fun.
Well, and it's kind of because all the other beats from all the other movies haven't really quite clicked. Like Civil War. We did watch Civil War, so I can add that one to the We got through Civil War too. It's finally she's seeing all the pieces kind of start to connect a little bit more, which is kind of cool. But that's the thing, like even Ant-Man, she was laughing at more of the comedy.
Well, a lot of it has to do with Paul Rudd as well. Like,
totally.
And Luis, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like between those two, like they provide a ton of the 100% of the humor.
And the Russo brothers, I think, even did a better job because that's my thing. Like my wife's not a comic book person in any way, shape, or form. So for us to watch these, I have to explain some of the things, but I found in Civil War, I didn't have to.
And then maybe that's a tightrope walk that the Russo brothers have to do.
And I'm feeling like that's the Russo brothers and like their storytelling is
this guy shrinks. Okay.
And not well, but again, we watched Ant-Man. My wife knows Ant-Man shrinks, and all of a sudden he grows, and she's not like, well, that was weird, because in the movie she saw him put the different piece in, and
it was alluded to.
Yeah.
It's alluded that can happen. So he all of a sudden grows, and it's like, oh, all right.
That's a natural progression.
She wasn't like.
It wasn't Captain America going giant.
Right.
It was literally tiny dude is now real big.
Yeah, but yeah, she was getting more of the beats and the jokes and that kind of stuff from Civil War than any of the other. The newer movies are really clicking a lot more, which I mean is obviously showing box office numbers and all that kind of stuff too. So, but yeah, we got through all of those.
That's good. Good on you. Good on her.
I know.
I can't even get mine to sit through all those, and she likes those.
I congratulate my wife thoroughly for that one because she does not dig those movies, and
mine likes those, and she can't even sit through like 2 of those back to back.
For her to sit through them. So obviously the birthday party I held for her was good enough because I haven't done any big chores either. To that was kind of the deal. Was if I got major stuff done around the house, she'd watch one of these movies.
It's
so the one night we sat there and watched like 3 of them.
Whoa. I didn't even do that.
And I'm just and even I'm sitting there and she's like, "Well, just put the next one on," and I'm like,
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Let me see the ring.
Yeah, what did you do that you don't want to tell me about or something? Like, why are we watching so many of these films?
I don't have an issue with it, but I do.
I kind of did. I was out. Like, we had watched 2 of them and sitting there going, she'd go, "Well, just throw the next one around." I'm like, how nonchalantly are you just taking these? Like,
maybe it's sinking in. By osmosis, she's becoming one of us. It's finally happening.
Only took me 10 years, Tony. It only took me 10 years.
It's finally happening. It's happening.
On top of that, we'll talk about Fortnite after, I guess.
Yeah.
The fall
separately.
Yeah, the fall Unbound. So I got the second chapter.
Yes, we found that out. That one.
So I bought the fall. The fall originally I had on my Wii U.
Yeah, it was an old game.
Yeah,
super old game.
And it kind of just ends.
And you go cliffhanger.
Very cliffhanger, and you're like, oh,
more cliffhangers.
Like, that's an interesting story.
Now, I have to check on the PC, like the Steam version. When I bought it, it said it would include the second one for free.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I have to check.
Either way, I bought the first one again, not thinking that there was different parts to it, and I just figured the story would keep going like you did.
Yeah.
And then the story ended and the game ended, and I'm like, oh. And then I looked online, and there's a part 2 and a part 3.
Oh, part 3 now.
And the part 3 is not out yet.
I thought they were only doing 2.
Either way, part 2 is out, and I looked on the Switch, and it's on there, and it was on sale, and I'm like, fine. Like, I gotta know what happens now. And so part 2 is actually really cool, because you're an android inside of a suit trying to keep your pilot alive.
The human is unconscious.
The human's unconscious, so you're the AI in the suit, and you can move the suit and everything. Okay. And you're working through this factory for defective droids, trying to survive all of the puzzles and stuff and get through to the end.
Yeah.
Then there's the cliffhanger ending, which leads into 2, and in 2 you actually get to go into a network of sorts and infect other droids in this facility that all have different powers. So, like, the one I'm at now is like an ancient samurai droid.
Hold on, Samuroid sounds way better.
Either way,
get that checked out.
He was part of like a Unity type thing. So there's all these battle droids that were in there, but they're all a hive mind.
Yeah.
And he's managed to escape the hive mind. So he is one. Everybody else is many. He is one. But you're inside his head, going like, "Hey, we should go do this."
Okay.
And he's like, "Will it help me be one?" And you're like, "Yep, because I'll leave, and then you can be one all by yourself again." And he's like, "Fine. Like, I'll help, but I can't go close to the many because then the many will take over him."
Yeah.
So he actually has fight scenes where you actually punch and kick and do that kind of stuff. You're stationary, and it's legitimately a timed, like, other robots are coming in at you very
Is it like a QTE kind of thing?
Sort of. It's a left-right. You just have to time your punches and kicks properly to the incoming things, and then all of a sudden, the further you get there, all of a sudden, the many can learn from you. So all of a sudden, like, one came in to punch you, and you block.
Yeah.
Well, the many now know how to block.
Uh-oh.
So they're learning.
Don't ever block.
Well, no. So now
only punch.
Now there's enemies that know how to block, so you have to hit them twice.
Right.
So the game mechanic changes.
So
as
they
the chapter
learn.
goes on.
So it's how a computer learns from you.
Yeah. So the narrative's really cool.
I heard that its story was really, really good in the first one. I really need to finish that game.
Yeah. So honestly, I would suggest chapters 1 and 2 of The Fall. They're both good.
Whatever platform
you're playing on, go for it.
I think it's only on Steam and Switch right now. Oh, it's on PS4. It's on PS4 too, I think.
I have no idea.
I feel like it's on PS4.
I also bought all the DLC for City Skylines, all the stuff that's out now.
We saw you that.
Yeah.
We saw you that.
Well, so I bought it when I was online with you guys.
Yes, we were just kind of dicking around. And we were
waiting for our Fortnite to update, essentially. So I'm like, oh, well, the City Skylines has a bunch of stuff for sale. So they had one of the DLCs on, like, for 33% off. But the new DLC where you can build parks, like legit.
I was gonna say, what have you been doing until now?
Before they had park pieces, so you could build like a plaza, and put it next to the road, and it would be a park. This new update legitimately allows you to create a gate, and then sidewalks, and then you put what you want into the park. So, whereas you build roads and build residential, and people build the houses, you can now build a zoo. With a walkway and put like tiger cages in and that kind of stuff.
It almost sounds like that this should have been in the game earlier.
Nope, I was fine with what they had before because it was. You put a park in, it counted as a park. Like you just put Green Park and it created something like a mini Central Park sort of thing.
Oh.
This now you can legitimately choose instead of building just the plaza, go nuts and build sidewalks and
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
And all sorts of stuff, and then that increases the property value of the thing around it. So, like, in my brain now, I usually build, like, the same city starter all the time. Yeah. Well, now I'm sitting there going, like, I can legitimately build, like, Central Park, where there's a pond on this side with paths going this way and, like, stores and this and that and everything, like, food places and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, damn, like, this can get... You're essentially going from building city to micromanaging a small section of that city for the park stuff. On top of that, they've released a whole bunch of new DLC that I'm still trying to get used to. I'm slightly worried because the last time I played was the Disaster DLC.
Did you leave one of your cities in fire?
Godzilla.
Pretty much. So I worked on...
Flooded.
I'd worked on building my city, and I'd worked up enough to get a concert hall because those were new. So I built a concert hall. I'm like, yeah! And all of a sudden, there was an earthquake or something that hit the town, and I had no emergency...
Nuclear bomb.
No, there's no nuke.
Giant shoe?
No. They un-SimCity'd a lot of it, so it is very...
Godzilla?
No.
It's
no.
There's no...
It's tornadoes.
Rampage.
I think asteroids you can still get. Floods easily you can get.
Depends if you're by the ocean, though.
If you're by water, the floods happen, yes.
If you're not,
they can.
Yeah, sinkholes happen, like actual natural disaster type stuff happens. But if you're set up for it and you're ready...
How are you ready?
If you're there's actual when they released the disaster DLC, they released disaster buildings, so like safe houses that people can go to, or a National Guard type thing that can actually react to these events.
So sandbags.
Essentially, so there's things you can do to counteract it, but when you start building a town, you've got a school. And you've got, like, a health clinic, and a small police station, and a small fire station, and a dump. And you're like, I am good. And then you kind of build from there. But if you get hit with a natural disaster within that time, whatever stuff you've built where the natural disaster, you're screwed. Like, there is no coming back from it. So I've got a beginning part of a city going now, and I'm like, all right. And I've tested out some of the park building stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can see how this will expand. But I have to build a city with a decent population and decent, tax income.
Yeah.
Because it's a problem. Every time I add I added the dump, well, it takes so much resources to run a dump. So all of a sudden my tax dollars go into the red instead of the green, and you have to sit there and wait until they eventually even out and come back up. So every time you build a new something, you kind of have to
wait a bit.
Wait it out for the tax dollars.
Could you go to a different game and leave it on?
You could. There's enough other management stuff you can do.
Is there any way you can like sell property to balance stuff out, or?
You can raise taxes. There's
no one likes that. Though.
Once you make a big enough city, you can do different kind of tax stuff. So you can run that crazy idea of really rich people have to pay more taxes.
What?
Crazy. But then really rich people don't like moving into your city, so you have to find those balances.
That's not real life.
That stuff. They've also the DLC that I got on sale was Green City, so you can actually mark off a zone of whatever you're choosing. It's like a paintbrush, so you can legitimately do a zigzag through your city.
Yeah.
And click the zone and call it a self-sustaining house zone, and all the houses built in that zone have to be self-sustaining.
Everything then.
So.
Well, I mean, it probably costs money.
I was gonna say.
But yeah, you make less tax dollars because you can't charge them for this or that or anything else. So there's upsides and downsides. And the nice thing is that they've kind of redone all the UI stuff to tell you by building this or doing this, this is what the effects essentially would be.
Yeah.
Like less tax dollars. Like my city pays for smoke detectors to go into everybody's houses. That costs the city a butt ton of money.
But at the
same time, I don't have to put as much money into my fire department because they know where they have to be before they have to be there.
It's not just looking at the smoke in the sky. It's like, oh, we know exactly where to go.
They've added way more like ordinances and that kind of stuff. You can actually click one that says in your city kids don't have to go to school.
Nope.
Sweet.
They can just go like straight to work essentially.
Oh, okay. Child labor.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So after like elementary school and such, they're not encouraged to finish school. But that will increase your commerce and lower industry type stuff. But you won't get the high-tech industries and all that stuff going on. So it's like...
There's a lot of sliders.
There's a ton. Like, it has become a
like
crazy management game, which is good, because
that's what you expect
the point.
When you go into a sim game.
Yeah. So, and it's not like Planet Coaster where you're building all sorts of stuff, so that can take your mind off. But this is legitimately like, I build roads. I zone properties for so many things.
I make sure that you have water and electricity. Go.
I always find the funniest thing, because Brian was playing it too, and one of the things he even said, he's like, well, I guess I have to destroy all these houses to put my new roadway in. And I'm like, yep. Like, that's what happens. So you sit there looking at even our city that we live in. There's a large chunk of houses that are going to be, that the city's buying up because they have to build our light rail transit through where those houses are.
Yeah.
And it's like, people get kind of mad that that's what happens, and you sit there playing a game like this going, I don't even care when it comes to city skylines. I'm just like, your house is in my way.
Goodbye.
The new school needs to be built here. Gaboom.
You've just made a family homeless.
Hey.
Hello.
We're popular on the mixer today.
I wonder if it's Xbox.
Either way, City Skylines. Brian and I played some WoW.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We're trying to get our Torrens up to 110 because
gotta catch up
now to Chris. So.
Oh, did you buy a?
You get one free.
Oh. When
you buy the game. Essentially, they're at the point where if you're buying the game brand new, they're like, you probably want to play with your friends who are also of high level. Here, just boost yourself up.
Yes.
But we're still going through.
And plus, you get all those. You're buying all the expansions and.
This is our post-credit show where we talk about games and movies we've played and watched and other sort of stuff we've done in the past week. Week or two for some of us. So yeah, WoW is WoW. We've been battlegroundsing. I did like you popped on what is this, and it's like a weird King of the Hill game.
Is that 100 WoW players?
No.
Dropping into
no. It's like 10 of us.
10
v10.
10 WoW players. 20 WoW players drop into a.
Now, to be fair, there is a battleground that's 40v40.
40.
Battle
80 players drop into a battle.
And I can honestly see them for the next one.
Just
with Battle Royale being the way it is. And then the next expansion is legitimately the battle for Azeroth. I can see them dropping a battleground.
They must be doing that in R&D somewhere.
Yeah. They can do
Probably.
it. If we can fit like.
But the thing is, you got to make sure it's unique to World of
Tips on Fortnite.
Don't die.
Don't play with us.
Shoot. Get wood.
Don't listen to Tony.
Get wood. Get wood.
I also just purchased SteamWorld Heist and SteamWorld Dig 2 on my Switch because they're on sale. So
are they?
Heist is a 2D turn-based shooting.
It's a space thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the space one.
He's up in space. They're up in space. They're not on the planet. SteamWorld Dig 2 is you're free to do whatever you want.
That was really good.
SteamWorld Dig 2's been. SteamWorld Dig 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is just like it amped it up to the next level.
I think how much was it?
Like 15, not even.
Okay, I might look into that. Well, I mean, I'm getting Street Fighter next week, so.
Yeah. So SteamWorld Dig 2, totally awesome digging game, like going through and finding upgrades. Like it feels like almost Mega Man, but more exploratory kind of thing. Meanwhile, SteamWorld Heist is a completely different game where you actually get so many moves on a spaceship. You can then shoot, and bullets can ricochet and bounce off stuff and hurt the other people. But you're kind of a pirate. So the game changes. Like the gameplay between both is completely different.
Yeah, the only thing that shares in common is
the name and the universe, because you're a bunch of robots essentially, coming off stuff. And then last but not least, we played Fortnite the other night.
We played the 50v50.
50v50 squad.
I hate those.
We enjoyed it
as a squad.
Right.
Because again, Brian, Tony, and I ran around
let me
together.
guess. You ran and got wood.
A little bit. A little bit. Not a lot. Not as much wood as I thought I'd get. It's got an interesting mechanic to it because it's like you're running around with people, but you're not immediately wanting to shoot them because obviously they're on your team.
Yeah.
So and the fort building aspect was kind of incredible.
Yeah, that part was crazy. 50 people build 47 people build a fort together because let's face it, we weren't helping at all in that.
You go shoot the other guy's stuff.
That's kind of what we were doing.
And the thing is, like, it shows you where the safe zone is going to be.
Yeah.
So it gives you an idea of like, okay, we're going to have to make our way there.
But you have 9 minutes.
Yeah, you got totally tons of time to do it. But you can kind of get an idea of like, oh, it's going to be in that city. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Right. Well, in some of the parts I don't even know that well, so we got to that one where it was like wide open green space with like some rocks and hills.
And then we look around and we look back. There's like forts everywhere.
Yeah.
There's people are throwing porta forts everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And we're just like, oh.
No one heals me.
See, I heal as many people as I can.
I mean, I was also playing by myself.
Trying to get people that are on the ground.
I healed a couple.
Well, you can either squat up.
Yeah.
Or just not, and even when you're not, people don't come up and help you.
No, I've rezzed a few.
You were helping people. I never ran into that many people on the ground dying.
Yeah.
I died. Really
I also a lot of those matches I ended with like a revolver because I had nothing.
Yeah.
I had maybe.
Well, there was that one match where it was just like there was the river in between like the 2 forts.
Yep.
And
there was that one towel. There was that. Was it the roof one where there was like all those corner roofs?
No, that was the second one
because that's the one we won.
That was the one we won. The one we lost where we were like, I was watching you guys because I had flanked my way in and killed a person and I was all like, yeah, and then I turned around and there was a guy behind me. It was just like boom, and I'm like, oh. So I'm watching these guys play and Brian's like, I am out of ammo. Then I switched to him and he's like, I am out of ammo.
Yeah, there's a lot less looting in the 50 versus 50 mode.
Until people start dying, because then all of a sudden you can start,
stealing their stuff.
Yeah. But if you're trying to like fort yourself up and all of a sudden hide, all of a sudden you're out of ammo, because you're trying to kill so many more people. Mm-hmm. So that one ended with one girl. You guys had left, but I kept watching, and the last player got to like 2 more kills, and then just got buried under like 13 more people.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, but yeah, that other one was really cool. That guy built like a bunch of the small
corner roof things,
the small corner roof pieces.
Yeah.
But way up, so Tony's like running on all.
It provided it looked kind of weird and kooky, but it actually provides a lot of cover.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And it was worth repairing it because it's like, yes, if these pieces disappear, I might fall.
Yeah, and the one in the woods, I really flanked them, but they found me.
We tried that one.
Yeah, they found me. So, but yeah, Fortnite. So that's kind of what I've been up to. If you want to know more about my WoW adventures, they're just on my YouTube channel. So
when you say adventure,
you go kill things.
It's actually more Battlegrounds than anything else. Like if we can get into Battlegrounds, we abandon whatever quest we're working on and go right in. Yeah. No, Brian and I have worked out systems for most of the Battlegrounds. So again, I've tried Battlegrounds without Brian. Not a huge fan. Because that multiplayer aspect, as long as Brian and I are in there together, actually having that voice communication helps tremendously.
Yeah.
So it's the same with like Fortnite. I'm not huge into Fortnite on my own.
No.
But playing with other people, like even in that squad thing where, there's, 47 other people, at least there's the 3 of us who can actually sit there and bullshit together while we're
dying.
Guys, I'm stuck behind a rock.
I'm dying. Help me.
Well, no, I ran into that field, and all of a sudden I saw people away from me, and they saw me, obviously, and started shooting. And I'm like, guys, I'm hiding behind a rock. And Brian's like, I'm on my way. And I'm like, why? Get away from me. Like, don't come.
No, I usually go the other direction.
Yeah.
Screw you. I'm out of here.
Well, no, if I'm pinned behind a rock, just go somewhere else.
They might save you.
There's no way to help me.
The chances of like saving you are thin.
Yeah.
Especially in the 50 versus 50.
And in that wide open field, like I would have understood it if I was pinned down and you guys could have come from behind and done something about it. But like, I'm pinned down by 2 guys. Well, I'm pinned down by 40 people on another team watching a wide open field with sniper rifles. Like, so I'll poke out and start shooting. Okay, I escaped the rock. I just didn't need to help and, putting my teammates in danger while doing so. So it was more of a warning. Yeah, don't come to me. I'm stuck behind a rock.
But he wants to save you.
Cover fire.
Suppressing
fire. Either way, that is me.
Cool. I'll go on.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. I caught up on it. I binged it one morning. Yeah, it's super good. That bottle episode was kind of intense.
Oh, the Rosa one?
Yeah. That got kind of... It got kind of real.
Again, and that's my thing with that show.
It got kind of real.
Yeah.
And you could see where they're like, we need to get ourselves distracted from this, because, like, when she comes back, she's going to want this thing done.
Yep.
It's like,
that's what I mean. Again...
They have... There's a lot of heart in that show.
Rosa's not in that episode much.
No, she's in
but
that.
You hear what's happening, and you go, "Oh no!" And the worry and all the other characters has you going like, "Okay, I'm on edge now."
Yeah, like something actually could have happened.
Yeah.
And obviously nothing was going to happen,
No.
but like it's the fact that there's that much heart in that show. It makes me happy that it's somewhere else now.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I finished up season 12 of Supernatural.
Sweet.
That is kind of an insane season. A lot of things happened. Do you guys care if I spoil shit? So,
I'm back on season 3. So
Lucifer has a child.
Of course he does.
He has a demon baby. Spoilers. This was technically last season, so yeah. So that's the big cliffhanger, is that Lucifer has a demon child, but with the powers of an angel and a human, apparently it has the ability to rip space and time apart. And so they literally ripped a hole into reality to a different universe where they shoved Lucifer into. And the world where I guess angels and demons never stopped fighting. And that was the big cliffhanger of that season, is that basically Cass dies, Lucifer's dies, or gets stuck in that place. Their mother, who they brought back for that one season, she's still around, gets sucked into that portal as well, and it's just them again. And it's like, holy crap! Like they
reset.
Yeah, it was kind of a soft reset, but it was. It's really awesome. Like the way that the showrunners are actually giving a shit, and I'm actually watching into season 13 now.
Yeah.
And the writing is still like top notch.
Good.
It's super. They care about that show, and that makes me happy and makes me want to. Like it keeps me coming back for more.
I feel like the fans got more behind that show too, though.
I think so too, because it's like, it was always in that rut of Supernatural got renewed again.
Yeah.
We gotta go through this again, and I think CW kind of caught on to that. It's like, we need to stop putting money into Riverdale and put it into something else for a little bit.
Oh, come on, Riverdale it's gotten renewed, hasn't it?
I think so.
That's not the point though. Like it's
season 3.
Yeah.
But giving Supernatural a chance, it's pretty amazing. So
Well, it is their tentpole show that actually
started CW.
It keeps actually performing.
Yes.
People
Somehow.
continue to watch it.
And case in point, like
that's the problem with all their other shows right now, like Arrow and Flash and all that stuff.
The Arrowverse apparently is kind of...
The writing has apparently just...
Yeah.
And not like Supernatural just got too crazy.
Too fast. I think it got too crazy too fast.
It did.
Took a lot on. I mean, for one thing, they did a whole character arc for God.
Right.
Which they didn't need to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You don't need to do
Yeah.
But and I think that was their thing, though, is they fought the devil.
Yeah. What did you do after that?
What do you do after that? So it's nice that they've kind of,
Well, they are still doing
I get
Lucifer
that.
stuff, but they're putting that in a different, a frame.
Right.
Like using as a different, plot point. It's like, yes, the devil is super powerful, but he's also being held back by da-da-da-da-da-da, which is why we're still able to go toe-to-toe with him somewhat.
And I get that. I dig that. So.
And then, obviously, him having a kid changes the dynamic of the show.
Yeah. Just a bit.
Yeah, literally Satan's boy. Little Nicky. That's the show. That's the movie. It's basically Little Nicky.
So Adam Sandler is now in.
That would actually kind of be interesting for them to if that popped up on TV for a split second. What are you watching? I don't know, some Adam Sandler movie.
But that's good to know.
Yeah, Supernatural, still really, really good. And I think you guys were kind of curious about this. I mean, you were curious about this. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, more. I was more curious about it.
So, the short answer is that it does not. The finale does not take into account Thanos' event or actions at the end of Infinity War.
All right.
It does not. It takes place. The finale takes place right before that.
Ah, okay.
And so, because of how season 6 is coming back? Yeah. For its half season, it comes back after Avengers 4. So there's going to be that nice middle gap where they don't have to write
to worry about
any story for
piece.
that.
Yeah.
They'll just let the Russo brothers take care of that. I think that's sort of their play on that. So that after the Avengers 4 gets finished up, you go into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
Yeah.
And obviously there'll be some follow-up with that. But it's a lot easier to write. Rather than, half the team
is gone.
Cool. I think
the show feels more balanced now,
as it should be. But other than that, I really don't see Clark Gregg on that show for season 6. The way they wrote his character, and the way that he's been talking about in interviews, that like the season 5, the finale was it for him. Like it's done. He personally wants to move on. Whether or not they bring him back for the show, if they bring him back for season 6, it will diminish the ending completely. And I was talking to my fiance. We were watching it together. We're like, why is it coming back for season 6? Like this was the
I remember you saying
like
that
this
one.
is the perfect ending like for that show. If it was done right there, we would have been perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Like with the finality of all these characters, where they're going, they left just enough cliffhanger that you can imagine what they want to do for season 6 if they wanted to, but it's not enough for season 6.
Well, that's why they're only getting half of season 6.
Well, and I mean it's going to be very interesting to see how they write Thanos' thing into the story as well. I mean, they planned it perfectly by not incorporating that.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
And they did do a lot of name drops to Thanos in the last couple episodes, where they're like, "Oh no, we need to get back to blah blah blah. We need to get back to Earth because this alien is coming to Earth and he's gonna he's gonna mess things up. His name's Thanos." And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we need to get back to help the Avengers." No, we got to do this thing here right now. Okay.
Yeah. And see, maybe that's where, because we know Clark Gregg's obviously in the Captain Marvel movie.
Yes.
So maybe that is going to be the piece of...
He's back into movies?
Maybe he's back in the movies a bit more. Like, he could show up more in Avengers 4.
We don't know how that works. The way that they ended his character...
Yeah.
Do you guys care?
Hold on.
I don't know if other people care. I don't. You
guys spoilers already on.
Spoiler. I just turned it off. I'm on top of things.
Keep it on.
Spoilers! Because I don't care. I haven't watched I'm on episode 4 of season 1.
Unless it comes to Netflix, then I care.
So
it's on Crave.
It's but not all.
I don't have Crave anymore.
I
got rid of it.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think all of them are on there.
Not the newest season, but they're up quite a few.
So the big piece of what happened last season with the Ghost Rider arc.
Yeah.
Coulson made a deal with the Ghost Rider to use his body for a period of time, but the deal that he made with Ghost Rider was to give him that power to finish off what the finale was to remove the stuff that he had to take out the stuff in his body that was keeping him alive.
Okay.
Because they revived him in season 1 with whatever alien tech, and so the arc in season 5 for Clark's character is that he's slowly dying because he doesn't have that stuff in him anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And so the finale was basically just him literally on the beach of Tahiti going like, it is magical here. It is magical here. And so that's that. And it was with the implication that he lives out the rest of his life
there.
See,
my only piece to having him come back for Avengers 4 is... spoilers. So Avengers spoilers, I guess. Post-credit scene.
Time Stone.
Not even that, but post-credit scene, or spoilers with Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Kind of,
Yep.
Captain Marvel comes back. Technically, the only character she really knows would be Coulson. So she might drag him back into the game somehow.
But he might be dead already.
Could be. We'll see. Like that's the thing.
And that's the big thing. Like did he die? Did he vanish?
And if there's time wobbly woobly goop.
And from one of the early set photos or from Avengers 4 shows that
there's time wobbly goop.
There's time
wobbly wobbly timey-wimey things.
Timey-wimey stone happens. Doctor Who comes in and
and they're back to the original Battle of New York, which is
not just the Battle of New York.
I know, but they we're seeing that scene again, so it's like Does someone save Coulson?
That's the thought.
Does that?
And then that would
You could.
that would invalidate the entire show, or would it?
You've been spending 5 seasons watching
Or
the
would
show. We're gonna fix
they
it
would
right
they
here.
could what they could do is save Coulson,
Yep.
but not have to like instead of saying oh he's back for like they revived him, just cut that part out and he's in Shield now.
That's just season 6.
Yes.
It's a whole new. It's just
Yes.
Shield season 1, but redone without
Yeah.
all the Tahiti stuff.
I'm kind of okay with that.
But that's what I mean. Like, it could be interesting the
Like-
fallout from what
Yeah.
happens in Avengers 4.
And
going
I
into the
really
show.
find it hard. I God bless those writers on that show because they have so much shit to deal with. They have to, it's like, fuck, what did Thanos do now? Like, what are they doing now? Like, oh, it's Thor Ragnarok's all in space. Okay, thank God, we don't have to do anything.
We don't have to do anything on Earth. All right.
Doctor Strange is. Do we want to? No, we got our own things to do.
All of a
But
sudden,
Thanos is kind of a bigger deal.
Oh yeah.
as there's like a 9/11 kind of event going on outside in like New York, and how do you deal with that kind of stuff? Because even the Netflix shows, it's like, you know, you
And-
kind of got to pace yourself on those too. Like,
And
where do you
it's
set
it's
them
kind of
at?
awesome because they do still have those awkward tie-ins to the movies.
Yeah.
The last couple episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were like, oh, you could see on the TV, like, oh, the events at, like, the ship in New York, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, you know what they're talking about. That just happened. They still have those weird tie-ins to the movies. But other than that, that show needs to, I hope six is his last.
From what everything I've read, it sounds like it's supposed to be. It's
like,
you know, ending.
giving it its victory lap.
Yeah.
Basically.
And again, if
On top of that, I don't know how you write Coulson back into that show
If-
with that like impactful finale.
yeah,
It's-
and that's where Avengers 4 might come into play.
I feel like at some point they have to have that conversation with us, like the Russo brothers, Feige, and like
Yeah.
the rest of like Jed Whedon, or is it Jed Whedon?
Yeah,
And the rest of
I'm not sure. The Whedon's still involved in that show.
Well, Joss
Some.
Whedon's still
Berard?
being credited.
Yeah.
He's still being
There
credited
you
for
go.
that show. Like on the last episode, I'm like, he's still there. All right. So the writers, they must have like some sort of like room where they sit down and be like, what are you guys doing now that we need to?
Yeah, what major event do we have to suddenly speak into this show now?
Like, and I'm really glad that the interim fix is we'll just do it after your guys' movie.
Yeah.
Rather
Which-
than
Which really works. Instead of doing 13 episodes without Coulson, and then all of a sudden Coulson's
I'm on that ship of like let's leave Coulson gone.
yeah.
We'll deal with.
See how
there are
they-
some cliffhangers that they
See how they
introduced.
deal with it without him.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, like that's what I mean though.
like
So
maybe they just
Avengers-
disband the band.
Maybe.
That's my thing. My thought process is just disband the band.
Yeah.
They all go their separate ways.
Yeah.
Like they've got stuff they need to do, like personally, at the end of that finale. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do for that kind of stuff. But again, a lot of stuff relies on Avengers 4, which we got a small synopsis on.
very like the briefest of.
Sacrifices must be made. It's like,
Reality.
no way, reality's gonna change. No way.
What?
It's almost like space-time, reality, and all sorts of other things are gonna change too.
So yes, I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thoroughly enjoying the last season. It was one of their best seasons, by far.
Yeah, they have all the way up to the end of the Ghost Rider season, so it's just the newest season they don't have on Crave. Streaming on Crave's a pain in the butt.
The Ghost Rider season was interesting. It was fresh. It was nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Yep.
I watched it.
Nope.
You guys definitely didn't watch it yet.
No, I've been super busy this week.
Whenever I talk about it with people, there seems to be this camp of people that really freaking loved it, and people that just didn't want it. Like they wanted it to end. They enjoyed the first one more.
My coworker liked the first one more, but he still liked this one.
I am in the camp of like this movie is smart. I really like this movie. You have to really be into the meta references, the meta jokes to really get the most out of Deadpool.
I liked Ready Player One.
And that might be where people are starting to lose.
Where it's like, yeah, like, and if you think about how Deadpool works as a character, like he, in the comics, like that's what his role is he pulls random meta references out of nowhere, and everyone just kind of gives him blank looks.
Mm-hmm.
All the jokes that you see in the trailer are in the movie.
Yep.
But not like, oh, you saw it in the trailer, but it's when you see it coming, it's perfect because of the build up towards whatever joke it is, like the DC universe dark joke and like, oh, you know, calm the hate breaks and Thanos and things like that. Those are all in there, but like very natural. It's not like, oh, we did it for the trailer.
Yeah. And
we had to like squeak it into this movie somehow. Yeah, it's really good. X-Force is awesome in it.
Yep.
X-Force is actually super great. I want to see more of what that movie is in the future.
Well, that's the next piece is obviously X-Force.
And without spoiling what the X-Force movie is going to be, like,
they set it up.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like that Deadpool sets it up.
Yep.
But don't take what Deadpool's version of X-Force will be without spoiling it. Certain characters are going to be in X-Force. Obviously, Deadpool.
Yeah, but that works for X-Force. Like, that makes sense.
Like, those are the characters that are kind of pinnacle.
Well, yeah, since Cable has a 6 story arc.
Who? Cable? Yeah. So
the movie arc.
So
movie arc.
the one thing about Cable in this movie is you need to understand that it is not the same origin story. It's still Nathan Summers.
Yeah.
It's still Cyclops' kid, but not really Jean's kid. Because if you've read the comics, it's not actually Jean Grey's.
Okay.
And that can change all the time anyway.
So I mean, they simplified it a lot for the movie, and for that I'll give him a pass just because his backstory is really freaking complicated. He lives in a time paradox basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because they kind of messed up the Apocalypse stuff from X-Men Apocalypse, they kind of just like sweep that part of his backstory aside.
Yeah.
There are tons of cameos in this movie. Like there's like endless amount of cameos. Like it's ridiculous how many people are in this movie. Domino is kind of awesome.
Good.
Cool, hey?
They're pretty good.
Neat, right?
Cool.
So in my Salt Lake trips, I purchased Cherry Cola Oreos. For those who are listening but not watching. The Domino is awesome. She is exactly as I expected from that character. Luck is not a superpower, and there's like a 5-minute like exchange between her and like Deadpool. Like he's like, no, it's not. I'm pretty sure it is. It's not a power. Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. That's just great between the two of them. Peter is in the movie, full on. He's like in there as a character that's. I don't want to spoil what happens with his character. It's kind of awesome. I will also give Deadpool 2 the best post-credit sequence of any Marvel, any comic book.
Just one?
There is... How do I say this? It's one post-credit sequence with 5 bits in it.
Okay, so it's one
it's one
together.
scene. Technically, it's one scene.
We just don't have to wait
until the end of the credits.
Yeah. It's not Guardians of the Galaxy.
Don't stay until the end of the credits.
Yep.
There's nothing there. Once you see that one, you'll know when you've watched it.
Yep.
You will know when you've seen that post-credit sequence. There are certain character cameos that I guess were not quite so hidden, like the leaked pretty early, that are well done.
Yep.
Colossus in this movie is fantastic.
Which
is more Colossus is better.
And their Colossus was a good Colossus.
Yes, and if anything, they build upon that character in this movie. He has a lot of good character arcs where he's like, "Oh, I need to be the good guy, very good. I need to do this now, okay." And like he's put in that situation where he needs to be not quite so good. The kid actor that they got for, I think his name is like Fire Fist or something. The 15-year-old kid, so good. Like he's not quite.
Sonic Teenage Warhead.
No. X-23.
Oh, okay.
Not quite her level of acting.
Yeah.
But I could totally see that kid going places like after this movie. Like even if he's not in future.
I'm not expecting great acting prowess from a Deadpool movie though.
No, but I think like the way that this character, like the kid, like acts, I can see him going further. I really like this movie a lot. There's a lot of fun.
Movie of the year?
No, God no.
Just checking.
God no.
We had Infinity War. That's pretty hard to top.
I don't know.
We had to go a non-comic book movie.
Incredible,
that's right.
Incredible 2s is coming up pretty soon.
Sure.
Incredible 2s. I'm just saying.
I was never big on the first Incredibles. So.
I love Incredibles.
I know. I'm with you.
Good movie. It's just not like.
I'm with you.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I think
I'm excited for the second
They'll take
one.
their time with it.
I just don't think it's my
What else to talk about Deadpool 2? There's a lot of callbacks to the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like random jokes. He doesn't have. Remember the sequence in the first one where he has like baby hands?
Yeah.
He has baby something else in this movie.
Oh, good.
It's funny and awkward and just the right amount of Deadpool. He does actually spend a lot of time without his mask on.
And that's more.
I think it was a comfort level with him.
That's more what it was in the first movie. Was he thought he was ugly as all
all hell.
All hell.
And there's a character moment where he's like, like screw this like costume thing. Like he doesn't have it on. He's in the bar. He's got, it's super good. Definitely go watch it. I would definitely. It's worth rewatching.
Good.
But yeah, that's the TV shows and movies. I am playing God of War.
God of War.
God of War. I can finally actually give my.
Did you finish it?
I am probably about 40% through.
40?
40 or 50% through. I'm not sure. That game has a really weird sense of time because the main premise of the game is you're bringing your dead wife's ashes to, I don't know, the highest point in like all of Midgard or something like that.
Just dump it on himself.
No, no. That's a story point for that character. But the big thing is that it is very much its own game, even though it is a God of War game, and the previous 3 handheld games are still canonical towards this game. It's very much its own sense of like, oh, he's in Nordic culture now. He's fighting dragons. He's fighting Norse gods and things like that.
I thought you said there were no gods.
What do you mean, like?
You told me there wasn't. Not.
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's what I thought.
It took them a while to wake up.
Thor.
They're sleepy gods.
You can find Thor.
They're all. This is very.
Loki.
If just a word of warning, if this is your first forte into like Nordic mythology,
yes,
don't take like Thor from like the movies and stuff into.
Sure, I do.
Oh God, no. Like these gods are. You thought the ones from God of War 3
were bad. All gods are bad.
These guys are worse.
I was a benevolent god in black and white. Come on now.
I flicked everyone into the sea.
I only kicked half of them in.
Okay, Thanos. So, but yeah, like this game it looks amazing. It does the thing where it doesn't camera cut unless you die. So everything is one smooth shot. You can tell where there are loading sequences because it's like, oh, that you guys
push this door open.
Yeah, you're pushing
super slow.
You're going through. You got to go through these 2 cracks like really, really slow, like or like you're ducking down like this tree here just to get the next section loaded. It still looks amazing for what it is.
I would rather people hide the loading screens in that kind of way.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Just all of a sudden,
games are getting better at that.
Because that's what pissed me off as the Mass Effect series went on. Was Mass Effect 1 like as much as people hated that long elevator ride? It made sense.
I actually liked that.
I liked those, and then all of a sudden
sense.
the second one came out, and it's like loading screen, and I'm like, what happened to
Flying
it?
to different
What
planets.
happened to my elevator?
Resident Evil Revelitans did that on the 3DS. Revelitans.
They put a spelling error on the first print of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, they did that really, really well between the 2 ships, loading the 2 doorways. But yeah, like God of War does that as well, but obviously with a little bit more oomph than a 3DS.
Yes.
It looks one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Game of the year?
It's up there. It's
That's
really
right.
it's super close. It's super close for me.
Chris is just getting ready for Game of the Year already. It's only the end of May.
I'm not quite sure if I'm playing the game like right in terms of it's one of those games where you have a bunch of resources, a bunch of experience that you're supposed to funnel into weapon upgrades and skill trees upgrades. But I'm not sure if I'm like upgrading the right stuff in the right way.
It's your call.
It is really, and I'm at the end of the day I'm still having a great time with it.
Yeah.
But in terms of my own like Kratos' melee combat, I feel like he's a god. Why is he still having trouble with some like minions.
Because he was a demigod. He wasn't fully God.
I feel like though.
But if you're able to kill a god or two,
so many gods throughout so many games,
you might have
some experience with it. But it's a different set of gods. So.
It is a different. So
it would be different.
And they do reference that a lot, where it's like you don't belong here, and he's like, oh, I know who you really are. Does your kid know who you are? And there's this like narrative between Kratos and like the other characters in the world and his kid. The kid, you can see the progress between their relationship as a father and son. It starts off really, really rough, where it's like, make sure like you're this combat, you could have done this much like better, or it's like you make sure you draw your bowstring faster, blah 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 blah. And as the game progresses, as not just level the characters up, but as the relationship builds between these two characters, like the father and son, you can see them like, oh, did I do good this time, father? You did adequate this time. Like slowly, you can see their relationship build, not just from the story perspective, but just from as an experience journey that they're going through to dust these ashes on the top of the mountain. Again, I feel like that will come up in some point in the story.
He gets the kid to he stands in front of a fan while it's on, and he gets the kid just
get the kid to just put it on top of him, right?
No, fan is better, even more even spread.
It's right in the chest. Done.
That's what I should do in Disneyland. They yell at you.
They do, yeah.
You stick in front of a fan.
Put ashes in front of him. That was his wish. He wanted to be in Disneyland. He wanted me to open the bag while on a roller coaster.
The unfortunate part is people do that crap. And then
the people behind them.
For whatever reason, they have to close these rides down while they clean up human remains.
Oops. So yeah, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying my way through that game.
Nice.
My pro tip for anyone who's playing it, obviously you're going to play it eventually, upgrade Atreus's bow and skills. Like,
why?
Because
I want to focus on my own stuff.
No, the arrows that he shoots is far superior to what you.
How does that work?
Because what happens is
do you take control of him for a bit?
No. So what happens is it's always you two on the screen, but you're always controlling Kratos. For Atreus, he has a dedicated button to shoot whatever you're looking at.
Okay.
And he also has no health meter. He can get knocked down.
Yeah.
So he can't die.
He can't die.
Yeah.
But he can just be put out of the fight for 10 or 15 seconds.
That's fine.
But his arrows give you a lot more cover, especially when there are enemies that kind of zip across the screen. You can shoot the arrows to stun them, giving you a little bit of window to finish off.
To smack them.
So as well, if you launch people up in the air, he can use the arrows to juggle them as well.
Cool.
If you do a heavy attack, this is a skill that you upgrade later in the game. If you do a heavy attack, he can actually follow up behind you, jump on your back, actually start strangling whichever monster you're attacking, giving you a moment to continue your combo string.
And I missed!
Oops!
And game over.
So, no, his skills are actually invaluable in that game. I find myself spamming his arrows a lot.
One day if I ever get a PS4.
That is definitely your...
Spider-Man bundle.
If anybody from Sony ever listens to this, I'm telling you right now.
You've got E3's coming up pretty soon.
You Spider-Man bundle me on a PlayStation and I'm in.
At this point,
even though
it's
the end of its cycle.
Apparently, at the end of its cycle, I'll hop in.
At the end of the day, you've got Uncharted 4. You've got
that's what I'm saying.
God of War. You've got Horizon. You've got all these great games.
If I can get one more NHL game out of it, I'll be happy too.
I was thinking of picking up Horizon. It was only like $30.
What?
Shell 19?
Oh, well, yeah, they'll come out with 19.
Don't you want Madden 19?
No.
No, football.
Do you know how hard those football games are now? It's easier for me to play actual football. Yeah. I can actually throw a football better in real life than I can in a video game now, and that's not good.
Well,
which
it's not bad.
No, but in a game where I'm supposed to be pretending to be a professional football player, I should probably be able to play better than I can.
Remember when they did that one
See
year?
If I can do it.
And they might have changed it since the last time I played.
Remember that year that they had the helmet cams for hockey and football?
They still do.
Yeah.
Do they still do that?
Mm-hmm.
They need to do that for VR.
No.
You just have some friends that's like, okay, now tackle your friend now.
Yeah,
well, they'd be watching you on screen.
Yeah,
and then...
you've got it plugged into a screen, and they're like, and hit a boof.
It comes with like cushion pads.
Yeah, there's a big like those kicking pads they used to use in like martial arts sort of thing, and it's like and swing.
All right, make sure you get them in stone. Yeah, so God of War.
Nice.
Super. I am very impressed with that game.
Good.
It shows its roots. It shows because Corey apparently the team worked on it as soon as they were finished 3.
Oh yeah.
My understanding is like a couple months after 3, they're like, okay, we're back into it, and then it comes out now. So definitely on my radar for Game of the Year.
Beauty. See, I'm glad Chris keeps writing down all of the year in review stuff because
I'm trying to.
It's what I think is important.
I don't. You're probably got stuff on that list that I'm good with. Maybe slightly. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then Fortnite with you guys as well.
I didn't Fortnite with you guys.
Yeah, you should.
You Fortnited with us a while ago.
Yeah, me and Brian.
Oh, you guys probably talked about it, but yeah. But we actually
our comment was we were impressed that we actually took out a squad by ourselves.
We're a team.
Minus Tony. I think Tony died. It was us 3.
If it helps, I probably didn't do that.
No, you were the one that survived because me and Brian were both down by the end of it. And you were the only one that survived.
Every once in a while, I have a game where I kill people and I get real excited. Well, I shot that one person in the one game when I flanked they were building this like weird staircase to heaven sort of thing to try and like get over our fort.
Yeah.
And I had slowly, like with a sniper rifle, like kept going from tree to tree, and finally one of them was up high enough on the staircase and not really moving, and it was like BAM, and they were all of a sudden down on the ground, like crawling, and I'm like, yee.
That's not killing unless it's knocking.
I couldn't. I know, but I couldn't. They disappeared behind the wall.
Knock out the
What
wall.
kind of game mechanic is if you're falling in a team game for PUBG or Fortnite, you fall, but you're just knocked out? I feel like a fall would just instantly kill you.
Yes.
No, you just get knocked out.
What is knocked out from a 100-foot fall? From
But what's knocked out from a headshot?
Again,
true.
What the heck?
With
It's Fortnite.
It's Battle Royale. So,
yes.
What are you even up to, sir? Oh, Pokemon Go. I played a lot of Pokemon Go last week.
I caught some
that's
Charmander.
That's every week.
Charmander.
I played from a car.
Shiny Charmanders.
I play from buses all the time.
I was sitting in a parking lot with the dog in the car because we didn't want to leave all the windows like.
That's fair.
Want someone breaking your car to save your dog.
Well, right.
Okay,
so
office.
I can easily sit there with windows open while my wife ran in to grab like 2 things. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, there's Charmanders in this parking lot.
Yeah.
And you're out of balls.
And I was out of balls. I don't Pokemon Go.
You're not serious like we are.
No.
It's like some of us are.
Like some of us do.
Level 24 now.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm almost 37.
Yeah.
I might try to.
This is why I don't talk to Tony about these.
Feel all good about yourself until you talk to him.
Hey, you got a shiny Kabuto.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, did that. Also wowed a bit.
Wow.
Not a whole bunch. I have I don't know if you guys watched, but I kind of went into description with Brian last week.
Mm-hmm.
I have 7 different characters on the go right now.
Whew.
One for every day of the week.
Wait, what?
Whatever day of the week it is, that's what character I'm playing.
It's actually a good way to do that. Did you name them all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
No, I didn't. I just keep it in order.
I haven't watched that movie still. The one where the 7 daughters, and then Where's Friday or something?
Oh
like
yeah.
Oh.
Or Where's Monday or something, or Where's Wednesday? I haven't played it. I have to watch that movie. Anyways.
Yeah, I finally decided which character I wanted to boost up to 110, which was my warrior.
And you only get 1, right?
You only get 1 boost. Well, you can pay for more, but you only get one free one.
It was a debate between a warlock and a warrior. I figured the warlock would be kind of hard to jump into, going from 7 to 110.
They do a pretty good job of making sure you're not just although Brian and I also, when we did the boosts, had to sit there going
I looked at everything.
What does this move do? What does this move do?
Oh yeah, I added a whole bunch. Honestly, my move set has really increased with the warrior. I have jumped in. I have no idea what's going on.
And that's the problem, is jumping 103 levels.
Yeah.
Is the story has progressed just a tiny little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
I heard World of Warcraft has been out for a while.
Just a bit.
See, and that's part of it is when you start a new character.
Last time I played though, it was before Cataclysm.
Right, so even the starting zones are at least a little bit new.
Tiny bit.
I'm surprised there's no like primer for that, where it's like, oh, between
They
these
are,
levels.
they're called books.
Oh. Okay.
Lots and lots of novels.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of was playing around with that for a bit. I don't know how all the buttons. I gotta adjust. I'm only used to like 2 or 3. Yeah, but I gotta go across my keyboard.
1, 2, 3, 4. Shift 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait,
I gotta go all the way across, like numbers and everything.
See, so my thing is...
And it's just messing around with trying to see what's effective for moves right now.
So in your spell book in WoW, there's the front page with your like talents, like which talent tree you want to pick to go through, and there's like they show you 6 kind of talents or 6 moves.
Yes.
Like it's kind of got 6 spells on a page. Those are your main ones. So those should be around 1 to 4, and then on the action bar above that, which is shift 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is it? Okay, now I know how to access my 2 attack moves that I didn't know how to.
And if it's not, we can hotkey that. It's in the thing. But
Just
either way,
around with it.
Either way, so like that's where I put my moves I'll use all the time. Then it's my utility to get out of stuff that I can just like click and use. And then there's like my sidebar is pretty much just for random junk.
Do you remap any of the buttons on your mouse for WoW? Okay. I don't know if people do that.
Ages ago.
Okay.
So before this mouse, I had the Microsoft mouse with like the 4 buttons or whatever. Like it still had the back and forth, but like these buttons right here. Back.
Those are great.
Those are so. One of them is my jump, and one of them's I switched it to. So this one's. No, this one's jump because this one has a 5th button, so I switched that to jump because it just got to push down my thumb.
Yeah.
This one is auto walk or auto run, sorry, and this one is switch between walk and run. So sometimes like. At one point in the game, they put like weird things you'd have to cross, and if you ran across them, you had a chance of like.
Oh, so like Smash Brothers.
Well, kind of like, except you're in a 3D world, so they try to build buildings the right way. Well, all of a sudden you start running up a building, but you're on a mount going 100 and whatever % extra speed.
Yeah, you
fall off the edge. Well, if I click that button, I'll just trot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've remapped.
So I choose the warrior just because I have 4 different characters in that zone.
So now I have to heal 2 of you.
Right now, I am a DPS guy.
Yeah,
that's where I went with it.
Brian's a tank.
Good.
I thought he was a healer.
His new character's a healer.
Oh, okay.
Our 110 characters are...
You're the healer?
I'm the healer, and that's how we ran, because we can do dungeons like nobody's business.
Yeah. I'll stick with DPS. You guys take the specialties.
All right.
I don't like the...
I don't mind healing Brian. Like that's why we also.
I only have 1 healer, and that's probably my shaman.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
You can register now on Pokemon.com for information on this Nintendo Switch game.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You keep doing that.
Because that's why Brian and I did that too. Was as a tank, he's like, well, what if I screw up as a tank? And I'm like, well, I'm your healer. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I either can heal you, or I'm going to tell you over voice chat, back off.
Yeah.
I'm running out of like
disengage.
Like I gotta, I can't keep you alive. Don't attack so many people, so we can get into a rhythm. And that's why when we switched to our Taurens, when we both made druids, I'm like, I'll be the tank druid this time, and you can be the healy.
Yeah. And then
so you can bounce between.
But it's just more comfortable. Like if you're healing your friend, and again, that was the thing. Well, what if I suck at healing? And I'm like, again, I'm your tank. Who cares? Like. I'm not gonna sit there going, Brian.
You just need practice.
And that's exactly what you need. You need practice doing that stuff in a stress-free environment, which is not always WoW.
Yeah.
Like if you're healing and you're not doing a great job, you're not going to get someone going like, "Hey man, try doing this, this, and this." You're gonna get, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Like, go die and jump off a cliff.
No thanks.
Right.
So a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. When the new characters come out,
Yep.
I can add more.
Oh, you're waiting, eh?
Well, because I have different classes for different races and what I feel would fit better with them.
Oh, no, I'm with you.
I'm only missing like 3 classes right now, I think. I'm missing a priest, a druid.
Oh, like you, I'm like, you should have them all.
I have every race,
yeah.
But I haven't created a priest, I haven't created a druid, and I don't have a death knight.
See,
I think there's something else
when
too.
the expansion comes out, we get the allied races.
Those extra 2 characters.
There's more though.
Is there?
So you can create a red orc,
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then maybe I'll be able to fill everything, and I'll have different things for everybody.
And you can, with the new orcs, you can actually, they have,
Stand up.
yeah, they stand up straight. They don't have...
Oh, mage. That was the other one I don't have. But I figured mage and warlock are pretty much like...
At this point, yeah.
they're
Because they took a lot of abilities away from warlock to put them into the demon hunters.
And then I would need a demon hunter. And that's way farther down the line. I'm not too concerned with adding more guys right now.
I know, I looked at all my elves the other day, and I deleted a bunch of them.
I'm keeping everyone.
So I have a warrior, and I'm sitting on him only because of his name, because I'm legitimately destroying my orc warrior to make a new orc warrior that's a red orc.
And with that name.
But keep the name.
Yeah.
So you have to register like right after, or how does that work?
Be quick about it.
I'm usually pretty quick about it, but I've never had an issue where I've deleted something, and because most of my outs all have the same names. I just get tired of playing the one, and I'm like, I'm tired of you. You didn't grow the way I wanted you to.
Whatever day it is, that's what's going with me. Like I said to Brian last week, that goblin one is really weird.
Which one?
Doing
Like
a goblin?
zone?
Yeah, it's really weird.
That's because they tried to actually make the starting zones at that point in Cataclysm a little bit more streamlined. Like before, it used to be like all MMO. You opened up, you were a human. Like, you are a human of, you know, blah, 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 the kingdom of Stormwind, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it zooms in on you, and you go and talk to the one guy, and he's like, there are kobolds in the fields, go kill them.
Go kill 10 kobolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the goblin one was more like, oh, our boss needs, like, your help as we run around in this gang. Go jump in the car and pick up your friends.
Really
and you're like,
weird.
What?
they were going through the phase.
But they had the technology between when humans first came out at the beginning of the game and when goblins were released. The tech behind the game was now...
Oh, yeah. Way better.
Yeah. So their questing just got that much better.
Yeah. Wowing.
Wow.
I watched Imp Man 2. I might be saying that wrong.
2.
Yep.
Oh, IP Man.
IP Man.
IP Man. Oh, those movies are fun.
They're so good.
They're super fun. I think he's back for another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
It's funny because this one ended very similar to how number 1 went.
I have the spoiler tag still.
Oh. Wow.
I guess so.
Spoilers for WoW. It's okay.
Our camera's also going a little funny. Sorry about that. There's nothing I want to play with right now to, like, stop that, so...
Yeah, it's weird because at the end of the first IP Man, whatever you want to call him.
I think Ip works, because wasn't his name Ip? Like, wasn't that
I thought it was
part of
Ip, but it's in...
I think
I don't know what language they're speaking.
Cantonese or Mandarin.
Is it Cantonese?
Cantonese or Mandarin. I think it's Mandarin.
Okay, when they're talking, it's what I'm reading it as.
Right.
It's not really what they're saying it.
Oh, right.
Master Ip or something.
Yeah. But they're at the end of the first one. Hey, he was a great guy. He's the one that trained Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And they went through kind of his whole thing. They did the same thing at the end of 2. He trained Bruce Lee. Talked a little bit more about his history, even though you knew about it already.
Those movies are still
No,
fun.
they were good. Like, I love the martial arts in those.
I like those ones more than the Tony Jaa stuff. Because I feel like I find the Tony Jaa stuff...
That got a little weird.
Well, they get a little crazy and over the top.
Yeah.
Whereas at least...
This kept it grounded.
Well, not even just grounded, but very, like...
Well, I mean,
it's like, oh, this is how actual martial arts...
Some of the stuff they were doing was a little ridiculous still.
Like,
but...
Tony Jaa just kind of like, oh, he's totally going to, like, run across this, like, wall and, like, elbow you in the face and just keep going.
Yeah.
He's going to keep going. And no, at least... It's a little modest, that's the word I was thinking of.
Well, there was some over-the-top action.
It was, but...
Stuff, I mean, at one point there was a table broken and both guys kicked it over so it landed, and so they both landed on top of it. No.
You never know.
I was going to say, but at the same time, a lot of those, it's like the Jackie Chan thing, where at least they're doing a lot of practical stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
So even if what they're doing is unbelievable, there are still people doing most of that stuff in reality. What's up? What is this? This is our post-credit show with a wonky camera right now, but we talk about games we've played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done.
Assorted nerd junks.
Yes.
Assorted nerd stuff. And then, only other thing I did this week was jumped into Call of Duty, World War II.
Whoa, you got the World War II.
Yeah, I got that for a Christmas present. I figured kids at school are bothering me about it, so I may as well try it out.
Because you have to get them before Black Ops 4.
No, I'm not buying. They've lost me as a customer.
No single player?
Nope.
Yeah.
They've lost me as a customer, and I even told my brother that.
I have no interest in that game. I never had interest in.
And yet Battlefield 5 is coming out, and I'm like, yeah, the company like.
Well,
EA,
see, that
the
one
that
would
was...
be.
Yeah,
that one would be more enticing because it has the single player.
Right.
But it's DICE and EA. They have a weird relationship.
But they've already said they've learned from obviously Battlefront 2, so there's no loot boxes.
No premium passes.
No premium passes. The only thing you pay for now is cosmetic stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it'd be nice if I could unlock the cosmetic stuff, but being a Battlefield game, I really don't care.
You're in a massive...
Titanfall 3?
Nah, not likely.
I never got into the series.
I think this is not a Titanfall year for them. It's EA, right?
Yeah.
Respawn's EA now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a Battlefield year for them.
Oh, for sure.
Titanfall 3 will most likely be next year. If I'm going to make any like predictions,
I guess we could do that next week, eh?
we should.
E3 predictions?
Is
We
next
should-
week the E3 prediction show?
Because E3 is the first week of June, right?
No, it's not the first.
June.
It's
Hold on.
15th.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it's the
We should
15th.
do that. We should get.
That would be next. Well, no, we have 2 weeks. To,
Remember we used
no,
to
we
do
have
that.
1 week to do that.
We'll do that next week. We'll do that next
We
week.
will do that at some point.
That means I have to think about that stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if we start now, we can.
Remember that year we played bingo?
Yeah.
That was great.
When we didn't actually have like
Anything to do?
work.
Yeah,
and
what's work?
Adulting to do.
Well, I mean, at that point, I took a day off. I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
Screw this.
I couldn't do that. I'd get in some
Trouble.
trouble.
Yeah.
My boss wouldn't care.
Yeah,
Well, they do care, but like, it's like, oh, whatever.
This Call of Duty
Yes.
feels different a little bit.
It's like. It's
Well, I still
World
jump
War
into
II.
it because it's
Captain
Call of
America.
Duty, and this is how I've always
Captain
done it.
America just shows up.
No.
He'll save your day.
No. How I've always done it since Modern Warfare is I just jump into the campaign at max difficulty.
Oh yeah.
Because it's
Well, because you're
Experience.
You're experienced in the Call of Duty
Are
franchise.
you experienced in war?
yes.
June 12th, 13th, and 14th.
So yeah, we gotta do a preview next week.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Will that be our what ifs?
I guess so. Yeah.
But obviously the old tech.
Yeah.
What they do. There's kind of a buddy system.
What?
Well, there's I'm only on the first level. I haven't gotten very far in, but the first part, there's a guy with you, like kind of part of your squad.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get enough kills, he'll give you a med kit.
Mm-hmm.
You just go up to him and hit the up on the D-pad, and he'll throw you a med kit.
Okay.
I've jumped into a part now where it's a different guy. They're gonna throw me ammo after
That
a
almost
certain amount
sounds
of
like
kills.
that a Nintendo thought process where it's like, hey, are you having too much difficulty?
It's
We'll
not-
give you like an
it's
Uber
not-
mode,
not
but not
even
like
that.
an Uber mode in that sense.
Yeah.
But it kind of gives you.
And the health you don't regenerate after a while. Like there was always that time.
Yep.
Health generation. This is you actually need a med kit to heal yourself.
They do that. They're doing that in Black Ops 4 now too.
You know what? It makes me laugh because
like that.
we went from med kits and all that
Healing
stuff
the
to
life
all of a
bars.
sudden
Regenerating.
regenerating life, and we're back to now like even Fortnite. You get hurt and you have
Hi,
to
Nugget.
bandage
And
up.
Cola.
Hello,
Oh.
RC Cola and yes, Phase Nugget.
Nuggets.
Now I'm McDonald's.
I want Szechuan sauce.
But yeah, it's really different because obviously I'm used to playing on the highest difficulty on Call of Duty and just waiting behind cover till I get full health and then ducking around the corner. Now I actually need the health kit.
I actually kind of like that going back into the med kit.
It makes so some of it like Halo. I get the suit's supposed regenerates its shields. Da, 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 da,
If you're
da, da.
Logan or something like that, where if
The
it's a
whole
character thing.
the whole regenerating, if it's the suit that's doing it, I get it. But yeah, with like actual soldiers and stuff.
Even
Here's a
Metal Gear
med kit.
Solid 5.
Med kit.
Wrap yourself
Metal
up.
Gear Solid 5 went into the whole, just stay off to the side, you'll heal.
Yeah.
And that actually drove me a little bit bonkers, because Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't have
No,
that.
you need rations.
Yeah, like, you were supposed to use rations.
So we have 2 weeks to come up with stuff for E3 because we have two
Two?
shows. We have 2 shows before E3.
We have the 9th?
We have
or
the
second and the
9th.
9th.
So
Okay.
we can do
We're good.
E3 stuff on the 9th.
We'll do
Okay.
We'll think of
E3
top.
predictions on the 9th.
I have no games.
Smash Bros.
Okay, alright.
We know that one.
Alright,
Yeah.
come on.
What do I want from Nintendo?
Metal Gear Solid. Another version of Metal Gear Solid 3. I would buy it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
I would.
What about a remake of one?
Depends on who's working on it.
It wouldn't be Kojima.
Then I'm not working. I'm not getting it.
I want Titanfall 3 predictions.
Guns.
Robots?
Bigger
Mech
robots.
suits.
Bigger robots.
100 mech suits.
Or smaller robots.
Titanfall v Mech Warrior.
Smaller versions of
Titanfall
robots.
V
with
versus
same
Gundam.
punch.
Titanfall
I don't know.
Gundam would win.
I've never gotten into the series.
100%.
No, I never got into Titanfall. It was one of those ones.
Titanfall 2 is so good,
I'd
guys.
say, yeah.
It's if we talk
It's
about
a little
single
late to jump in now, isn't it?
Nope. Titanfall 2 is very separate because it was the first one with a single player.
Yeah, they actually put a single player campaign in.
Talk about games
Talk about a game with single player,
solid
yeah.
single player campaigns. That's probably one of the best single player campaigns I've played.
Battlefield 5 talk.
Guns.
World War II.
Uh,
It is better than yes.
I'm
agree.
gonna probably agree with that.
at this point, yes. No, Titanfall 2 has probably one of the best single player campaigns for that style of shooter
Yep.
in a long, long time. It's one of the best campaigns I've played.
Battlefield talk. What do we think?
On these guys, I was just gonna say Battlefield 5. At least all the multiplayer options.
At least they're
sound
single
really fun.
player.
I really still like that weird, like, not PUBG style, like Battle Royale mode, but it is a Battle Royale
Well, so it's
mode.
still the big
It's still a massive-
64 people on one map or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it's
They
it's
separated-
through 4 missions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it takes I was reading that. It takes an hour.
Yeah, but a little over an hour, a
But
little under an hour.
the shtick is that you're actually going through battles. So like you're supposed to defend a battlement.
Yeah.
If you can, you get extra resources in the next
Right.
Okay.
in the next stage.
And then
Still
vice
doesn't
versa.
entice me to want to jump into the multiplayer.
And again, well, seeing that.
But then it leads on to like the last. It leads into the last round where you literally have one life and
Right.
minimal resources.
I'm about the single player stuff.
And,
there is
Battlefield's
still,
always done really good for this.
there's still
Like
single player.
that's why COD has lost me.
Yeah, if they drop the single,
They have lost it.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like, it'll be interesting to see the next Call of Duty game what they'll do for it. Like, if they go,
I mean,
sales were not as good.
but
without
and I
this."
mean,
Apparently there is. I'd like to see what their thought process are. Cause
Yeah.
Infinite.
Sorry, I'm just agreeing with that.
Infinity War apparently is working on rumored Modern Warfare 4 for the next year's iteration.
4. I thought 4 was already out.
I thought 4. Oh wait, the next whatever Modern Warfare
5.
is, the next iteration of Modern Warfare. Because I actually kind of watched the Call of Duty Black Ops presentation. Not like I didn't actually sit down; I was just cleaning.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny watching that like by proxy because they were like, "Oh, remember like, did you guys like wall running?" And then everyone's like, "No, we don't have wall running." I'm like, "You guys introduced wall running."
Yeah. No, what was that movie?
You guys like that?
What was that game?
Titanfall?
No,
Because
there was a
ball
game
running
before
here.
that one.
Oh, I know.
Blue cover, Heist, Geist, not Geist.
I know what you're talking about.
I was hoping they would come out with a Bad Company 3, but
That was if they do a Bad Company 3, they need to follow that up with one of
Brink.
the best like first person.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah,
Brink did all the wall running parkour with the gun things.
Yes. But they did it well.
Yes, for the most part, Bethesda and
But yeah,
Big
like
tech.
that Black Ops 4 presentation was super awkward because they need to they were dancing around like, oh, we don't have a single player, but we have this
you need 2
amazing.
hands there.
We're gonna be telling this amazing. That was a good game. That was good. Battlefield 3 and 4 were good.
I would actually like. I keep forgetting to look because Battlefield 1, like, for it to go on sale.
It keeps going on sale. On
I know, and I keep
PlayStation.
forgetting to check Origin for it to go on sale so I
Origin?
can pick it. I know, but that's why I always forget to check it out. What game is this?
What's
Ghostbusters.
Blockbuster?
Oh, which one? Which Ghostbusters?
The one where you're the trainee.
Oh, the one that's not half bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew which Ghostbusters
It's
game to
bad,
buy when
but
it
it's
was,
not-
getting liquidated.
Oh, I missed that. I should look for a Blockbuster while I was down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Alaska.
No, there's a
No,
few.
there's only like 5 left in
Yeah.
the States, but
I
they're
think
still there.
I think Portland has one.
I thought they were done.
They're not
Well,
done with making money.
The Modern Warfare would be easy enough because it'd be story during present time.
And then-
the problem with going back to these world wars all the time is there's only so many stories you can tell.
And then next year, for next year's Call of Duty presentation, remember story? Did you guys like story? Yeah, we've got story mode in our mode.
Guys, we got this crazy new addition to the next Call of Duty game.
It's
single player.
Single player campaign. No playing with other
Call
people.
of Duty Go. I honestly.
I think I
can't
played
remember
about
that
5
one.
seconds of that one.
I can't remember that one.
I remember
haven't
that
played
one
Call
being-
of Duty in forever.
I remember that being pretty subpar.
I don't remember.
It was a launch title for PS4 and Xbox One.
As soon as I got my hands on Battlefield like the last Call of Duty game I played was on my Xbox 360, and as soon as I got my hands on Battlefield 3 on my Xbox 360, I completely forgot about Call of Duty.
I think the problem with Call of Duty Ghost is that, is it Ghost or Ghost? Whatever.
Ghost. Yeah.
It was under the implication that you were going to be playing as Ghost from Modern Warfare 2 or 3. Who was
first Modern Warfare?
Was it the first one?
I think so.
And that character was amazing.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh yeah, you get to play as Ghost, and then it came out and you
it wasn't.
You don't play as Ghost. It's just called Ghost.
You're just an assassin.
It was literally like a giant, like a tease. It's like, oh, buy your game for the new console, guys, and then it's complete rubbish.
Yeah.
But I'm more leaning towards Battlefield now.
Oh, for sure. And you know what, Battlefield,
as unrealistic as it is, I
which
really
is
don't
always
care.
funny to me because I
don't care.
I find it more realistic to an extent. Like the vehicle stuff, once you add that into the game, is always less realistic.
Now, are they saying it's not realistic because of the numerous bugs and the glitches?
Forgettable is a good description for Ghosts. I'm not sure what the whole non-realistic piece is. Some of it has to do with, again, they've added female combat, so your avatar can actually be a female,
which is not.
Which is awesome. I think that's great.
It should be a non-issue.
And again, it's a video game.
Well,
crazy.
I think.
I mean,
I want to say it was showing.
Last year was their big, like, oh, we're going to be super realistic, super, like, Battlefield, like, World War I style stuff.
Until you got into a plane.
Well, until you started putting scopes on ships that shouldn't have scopes.
FS-17.
I don't know what that is, sorry.
What is an FS-17?
I'm trying to think of what that is.
It's an annual game? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it Death Stranding? If it's Death Stranding, then I'm in.
I'm trying to think of something that's it's not FIFA.
Is it Death Stranding? It's Death Stranding, and I'm in.
FS-17. I guess I can fact check FS-17.
Ah!
I wake the dog up.
Yeah, it's on me.
Farming.
Oh no, I don't play those.
No, I don't think we're.
Is it Harvest Moon?
That's coming out with the game on Switch.
Fine.
Yeah, E3 prediction.
Have you seen it?
No. Okay.
Have you played a mobile game lately?
Yes.
Because that's what they're putting on the Switch.
Well, that's complete rubbish.
Yep.
Are they charging like $50 for it? Oh.
Farm and Sim, I just never got into.
Honestly, that my time at Portia game was what Harvest Moon should be. Like that's the unfortunate thing is all these people who grew up with the old Harvest Moon games are now going, I'm gonna make an actual one as opposed to what they keep trying to like sell, and they keep turning out better.
I love Cuphead.
It was interesting.
It is one of those games that
very interesting.
You need to be a complete masochistic to enjoy that game.
Cuphead is in spurts. I can play Cuphead in spurts.
It's on my wish list.
You can tell when I play that game.
Yeah, I got you.
All
of a sudden, his Twitter's just like.
Come play the game again.
But that was us. We played here that one day.
I think it took us like
we streamed, but yeah, it took us half an hour to beat one boss. And it's like, should we just? No, we're doing it again.
But it makes it so easy just to jump back in.
Right.
That's the whole appeal.
No, Cuphead was very interesting.
I loved it. But wait, what?
If they want to make it realistic, I'd wait around to a shooter. I'm sorry.
Both. I like both.
Oh my god.
N64.
I like both.
N64.
I like both. N64 I lean towards, but I respect Atari. I respect Atari.
My Atari's in here.
Cool.
Cool.
That's everything for me.
Cool.
Toy.
Hopefully we can all be here next week.
I'll be here.
Well, it depends if there's any nephew birthday parties that we don't know about.
I'm so fine.
He remembered it.
That's the important part.
At least he wasn't here.
He was probably reminded.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it usually works with me too.
At least we didn't like come in and say, "Hey, you guys want to buy a Switch?"
They're all in my calendar, so it's set now.
Because should probably do that.
In the next coming weeks, I might actually have to miss one.
Oh,
well, I'm fine.
Good.
Don't
make me and Brian do it again.
I might miss the E3 show.
Which one's that one?
The prediction E3 show.
Oh, the 9th?
You could just leave us your predictions and we can.
Yeah, we'll read it. Just put it in a seal envelope. And we'll just say Moonlight. He predicts Moonlight. Oh, it's La La Land.
Oh. That's good. That's my big E3 prediction this
La La
year. The
Land.
La La Land, the video game.
Yeah, La La Land, the video game.
Oh,
And-
that's too hard to choose.
Yes.
A Link to the Past.
That's too hard to choose. I can't
I
do
think,
that.
yeah, no.
A Link to the Past was the first game I played that I got absolutely absorbed into.
I can't.
Warcraft 2 was an early stage game for me. I loved Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
But out of video games, like one of the first ones that I remember like sitting there and just like...
See, for me,
I can't.
it's Metal Gear Solid, but I don't know that I would call that like my favorite game of all time. Because when I think of favorite game of all time, I think of a game that I can continually coming back to.
That
play
would
Metal Gear Solid every year.
I do. But I do, but that's not
first
the point.
game, Duck Hunt.
I was going to say Mario.
Mario.
Duck Hunt.
Mario.
Duck Hunt.
Super Mario.
Whatever Spencer.
Walking
said.
up to the screen and just.
It didn't
Okay.
work if you had the wrong... It depended on the shape of your screen. Yeah, whatever Spencer had, because I didn't have the video games at this house.
I had a Super Famicom.
That worked out well.
Get him away from him.
I had an old school Famicom.
Yep.
So.
No, Spence had the NES, so we played that. And football. Football, I still remember, like, the old
God.
NES football, like... Bling, 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 bling.
First Mario.
Mario, I think. Between that one or Doki Doki Panic.
Oh, that's what else I played.
What did you play?
Odyssey.
Oh, you got it. You got the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
That's it. I beat the Sand World.
Nice.
That's about it. I do have a question though.
12.
Yes.
It's 72.
Purple.
No. Some
Metal
of
Gear.
those moons are on a table right now, right?
Yes.
What?
Well,
Some of those moons are on a table.
Yes.
I can't get to them.
You should... If once you've beat the world, you should be able to go back and get...
Okay, I'm still on the world. I haven't left.
So one thing you have to realize in Mario is that in Odyssey is that
that was good.
Yeah.
that not a lot of things are skill locked. Like it's
I
all
finally
based,
caught that bird that was flying around.
Yeah.
but like in terms of like games, like, oh, you've unlocked the triple jump. It's not that kind of game.
Sometimes the worlds, once you beat them, though, change.
Yes.
So once they've
Well, there's that
changed,
one that's up on top of the upside down pyramid. I don't know how to get to that one yet.
Oh yeah, that one's easy.
There's a
and
few
some
of
of them it's just a puzzle. Like you'll go
There's
and
a
step
few
on
of
a
them.
switch and everything just changes, and you're like,
There's a few
Yeah,
of them.
nothing is skill locked, or not skill locked. Nothing is like locked by like
yeah,
story
there's no
progression.
unlockable like your cap starts flying all of a sudden sort
Yeah.
of thing.
It's all based off
So
of
play
your-
around with it.
Yeah,
just toy around.
yeah. For a completionist,
If the-
Mario games are a nice.
For,
I was gonna say.
at the very least, it's
Did it say how many moons are there in total, or you just?
no.
The counter stops counting at 999.
So just
Spoilers.
leave Sandworld.
Spoilers. You
Leave
can
Sandworld is what you're saying.
Yeah, just
just
move
keep going.
on.
Just keep going. I spent a lot of time in the Sand World, like in each kingdom, after I got the requisite amount.
Yep.
Just for completionist sake. But yeah, the only things I can think of are you need specific monsters to get past.
Yep.
Things, but those are all going to be readily available to you.
The T-Rex was fun.
Jeez, T-Rex.
I wish there was more for the T-Rex to do.
You know what? That was the perfect kind of just like, look what we can do on our
I
system.
mean, like there's some sense to it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's alludes to it.
Why sad faces? No sad faces.
Why are you pointing your pen at me?
I was closing it.
On
Well,
guard.
yes.
On guard. Yeah. So Super Mario Odyssey is super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid Mario game.
I need to get back into that game.
I was just gonna say that's actually one.
I don't think I've never
jump back into.
I've never. Here we go. On the way.
I never played
Here we go.
1 or 4.
4. I played 4.
4 I liked.
I haven't gone back. The last one I played was
4 I got because I got on the PS3, and then they also gave me a code for the
3.
PS4 copy.
Yeah, it might have been 3.
Yeah, 3 was the last.
So it's Open Bad Company.
You're waiting for Bad Company to come out.
Well, like, we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's times like this that I really want an Xbox One so I can do the backwards compatibility. Because there's a
Play some stuff.
ton of Xbox 360 games that are just Red Dead Redemption.
It's right there. Could just go buy one and then you can borrow.
Yeah, you could get an Xbox One. Oh wait, you can't get the Spider-Man.
Don't want Xbox One. Have computer.
You can't play
I
Spider-Man.
also have an Xbox 360 hiding somewhere around here that I can just plug in and play these games.
That seems like a lot of work though.
It is. That's why I haven't plugged it in.
It's like you got it plugging in is one thing, but then making sure the controllers work, it's another ordeal.
Well, that's like when we started the Marvel stuff, and it's like, you know, not all of it's on Netflix. I don't own all of them on digital copy because digital copy wasn't a thing when some of them first started coming out.
The Phase 1 wasn't.
The Phase 1 stuff. So I'm sitting there going like, I actually have to find a Blu-ray player in this house. Like,
What the hell's a Blu-ray player?
So I actually had to plug in my PS3.
What's a disc?
Well, and yeah, like for most of our movie watching, that's the case. But I'm sitting there going like, you know, my wife's going, can we actually watch this? And I'm like, yeah, I just have to plug in the video game system. Because I had to plug in my PS3, which was my first Blu-ray player. Like, so.
Cool.
Cool.
I think that's it for now.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for asking questions.
Yeah.
We had a light Q&A.
Yeah, and join us next week. We do this all over again.
All the time.
New discussions, and new talks,
New news
and
is
potentially new people, or not new people, but
returning
people.
Returning customers.
We do have 4 chairs for a reason.
That's why I said we need a cardboard cutout of everyone.
Yeah, it's not just the dog under the table.
We need cardboard cutouts of everyone.
Okay, you go spend them, and you go. Yeah,
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna
give me the money. I'll get them made.
I'm shooting them with darts.
Because I have high-res pictures of all y'all.
I know.
So.
I know you do.
The way you say it now.
You know it. Either way, thanks for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Yep, check us out at BrNN and yeah.
Find all of our stuff there.
Find us next week.
Bye.
Bye.